The reason that nobody is listening to you is because you sound like everybody else. You sound like everyone else in the way you speak in your marketing, and you sound like everyone else in your offer. The most simple way to describe why this doesn't work is if I had the same offer as Alex Hormozi or TJR, a trading coach. I was teaching the same thing and I had the same offer statement. Who would you trust more? Would you trust him, Hormozi or TJR, or me? You'd trust them. You'd go to them. You'd rather work with them than you work with me. And that's not because you know his testimonials off by heart. That's not because you know their client results. I can't name any of their client results. It's because they are this aspirational identity. They are this person. They are this thing which is further ahead in their journey than I am, than what you perceive I am. Therefore, you're more willing to trust and buy off them than you are to trust and buy off me. So what we're going to run through today is how to become that and how to create an offer statement, an offer in which reflects that and becomes that. So that's what we're going to run through. At the end of this video, be it you're a coach or an agency owner, you'll be able to walk away with the practical steps to create that offer and why you need to think about shifting this idea of what you currently have as an offer to what we call a one-of-one offer. So I'm going to start with coaches first, because coaches and agencies are different. And I find a lot of people combine the two. And when they combine the two, everyone gets confused. An agency owner should not be taking the same advice as someone who runs a coaching program. So let's start with coaches. A coach, as I've written down here, just a few notes. A coach is someone who gives away the tools in their toolbox. So the person they coach, So the person they coach, fuck off. So the person they coach can walk away with those actionable tools to help other people. So a coach gives away the tools, and an agency owner uses those tools to do the service, to knock away, to fix the wall, whatever. So, right, the music is gone, so we are back. What I was on about there is describing the difference between a coach and an agency. This idea that coaches give the tools and agencies use the tools to help their clients. So, how do we build an offer which makes us stand out as a coach and as an agency? We'll run through a coach first. So a coach uses their past set of experiences to help others. Now, a coach uses their past set of experiences to help others in a way which nobody else can. Nobody else has been through that past set of experiences, windy, that the coach has been through. So they use those experiences, they use those stories which they have. They use the fact that the coach has been where their coaches are now, and they are now a step ahead. I call this the A to B transformation. The coach has been in this position. The coach has been in this A position, and they are also now in this B position. And we'll talk about this later, but then they are going to C. But that is more about this idea of a leader frame. We can talk about that later. So the coachee buys into the aspirational identity, as I mentioned before, that the coach is now. The coach is living a life, the coach has things going on in their life in which the coachee wants. Be it they are living a dream life, be it the money, be it this villa. But what we're going to do when we're creating our offer is we're going to dig into the more emotional parts, the emotional pain points of that transformation. So, to be able to create this, I want to use a great example of one of my clients. One of my clients, they were using this offer, and I think it was help freelance marketers between 2 and 5K make 15K in the next 90 days, whatever. No one cares about that. And the reason no one cares about that is because they've heard it 50 times before. No one listens to them because they sound like everyone else. Now, the way to get people to listen to you is to sound unique, is to sound what we call one of one. So what I did with this client of mine is we broke into who were they at the start? Who were they when they did not have this aspirational identity? Who were they at point A? And what did they really desire? What did they genuinely desire? What felt shit to them? What went on in their life, which they now do at point B? So what we went into is we turned this offer from freelance marketers making between whatever, to take back control of your life, take Christmas Day off, so you could take back control of your life, so you can take Christmas Day off without checking Fiverr and Upwork. Now, as a freelancer, this idea of controlling your own life and someone else not controlling it with having to send them proposals and having to stick to deadlines It was insane. They spoke about this idea when I was speaking to this client that they could never sleep at night because all they could do was check Upwork and Fiverr when they woke up in the morning, and they could never take Christmas Day off. Is who are you now? So the way I want you to be able to build this yourself is think, who are you now? And what did the past version of yourself deeply desire? You are an aspirational identity in which your potential or current coaches want. That's why they're working with you, or that's why people should work with you. If you're not an aspirational identity, then you should not be coaching. If you're thinking now, going, me 2 years ago would not buy into who I am, or me 2 years ago would not be jealous of who I am, then you should not be coaching back to that person. Because you will never be able to take frame with them, and they will never be able to trust you. So, who are you now, and what did you 2 years ago want? This might take time with a journal. This took me pages and pages and weeks to form. But really thinking, who am I now, and who do I want? Who am I now, and who did me 6 months back or 2 years back want to become? And that is your aspirational journey, and that is your journey from A to B. What's up, motherfuckers? I'm going to clip that out of the video. Okay, so that is coaches. Coaches is all about the internal aspirational identity. What we're going to move on to now is agencies. Now, agencies are different. Agencies take a little bit more effort because instead of selling yourself, you're selling your services. You're selling what your toolkit, why they should use your tools to get to where they want to be. So, again, going back to this idea that no one is listening to you because you sound like everyone else. How do you sound different as an agency? So, instead of selling to the past version of ourselves, we're selling to the past version of this skill. Hear me out. We're saving our potential client the pain of learning, the time it would take for them to learn the thing. So to be able to create this, what we're going to do is we're going to start with the what. What do you provide? What is the service you provide? Almost down to what are your deliverables. We're going to do this in a different way to coaches. What are your deliverables? And when we know what those things are, so say I am a content creation agency. I help people with editing and I help people with ideation. I help people gain more followers, gain more inbound clients, whatever. My deliverables are, I'm going to get you inbound clients. I'm going to get you editing. I'm going to edit your videos, I'm going to help you with ideation, help you with scripting. I'm going to do all these things for you. This is what I'm delivering. Now, if you try and sell these, again, you sound like everybody else, so no one listens to you. The way to get people to listen to you is sound different. The way we're going to sound different is we're going to talk about, from our experience, what is the outcome? We're going to use that outcome as the aspirational identity. The whats are scripting, editing, whatever. The outcome is, I've got it written down here, people listening to you. The outcome is inbound leads. The outcome is turning your moments into potential movies, like the moments in your life, turning them into movies, getting people to actually binge watch your content, listen to what you say, and buy what you sell. Those are the outcomes. We're going to use those outcomes as the aspirational identity instead of ourselves. We're going to speak about how when we didn't have inbounds, when we did have inbounds, how our life was like at those two different points. And if we did not start getting inbounds, what would our life be like? So, what was I doing when I was not getting inbound leads? What am I doing now when I am getting inbound leads? And what was my life like if I never made that change? That becomes our offer. We're selling people on this transformation, and we also need to let them know if we don't change our life, what does our life then become? So going back to this idea of freelance marketers to business owners, it's take back control of your life. My life when I didn't have it, my life when I did have it. No control. Okay? So you can take Christmas Day off to spend with your family, whatever. If you didn't do it, again, that thing in the middle, if you didn't do it, I would not be able to take Christmas Day off. I'd be checking Fiverr, I'd be checking Upwork. That is emotional. Not everyone can say that because not everyone has been through those past set of experiences. So to create that offer for an agency owner, all we need to do is we need to think about who we were when we didn't have this skill, who we are when we do have this skill, reverse engineer those outcomes, what we deliver to the outcomes. I deliver editing so you can get inbound leads. I deliver editing so more people can listen to you. I deliver editing so you can get on a podcast